Today we are looking at the third most common reason that systems fail, and that is the lack of follow-through.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Growth Journey Show, the weekly show for business leaders looking to scale their business. If you want to scale your business and you want to figure out how well it's going to scale, go to LexisClick.com/scalability score. So Steve, why on earth is there a tennis racket on the table?
Today we've got a tennis racket on the table because if you've ever learnt a ball sport like tennis or golf, the chances are you've been taught how important the follow-through is, and that the follow-through is just as important as hitting the ball itself. And it's similar with business systems.
So there's a couple of challenges we're going to talk about today around follow-through. One of them is just not allocating enough time to the follow-up. What's an example of this?
So a common example with not allocating enough time to the follow-up that we come across time and time again is websites. So businesses put loads of time and energy and money into creating the best website in their industry, and then they get it done, they give themselves a pat on the back, they have a big celebration, and they move on to the next item in their to-do list. The problem is that a year later, they're wondering why their amazing new website isn't performing as well as it did when they first launched it.
So one of the other challenges you might find is that you have a couple of systems and there's a bit of a handoff somewhere in the middle. So you've got one system that's working well and you hand it off to another system that's working not so well, and the second system blames the first system, and it's not an ideal situation. What's an example of that?
So a common example of these two systems working together is marketing and sales. So marketing generates a whole load of new leads, maybe through the internet, and those leads are passed on to the sales team, and then the sales team are like, these leads are rubbish, they're not performing as well, and they're not generating the revenue and the conversion rate that we should be achieving, and therefore they don't put the time and effort into them. Now the problem is marketing will often get blamed for that problem, whereas it's more a problem in the sales system itself. The sales system hasn't been evolved and developed to deal with those new leads in a slightly different way, and therefore it's blaming the marketing system.
So one of the things you can do to overcome these challenges is to really factor in the amount of time it takes to set the system up and to follow up. So rather than aiming for the most highly sophisticated system and then it dying the next week, the next month because you don't follow it up, you're much better to aim at a more realistic level and factor the time and effort into making it work and continue on into the future.
And the other thing that you need to do is map out the systems that you have in place in your business. Understand which system, the system that you're working on, which systems are going to input into it and which systems it's going to output into. By mapping those out and setting clear targets for all of the systems involved, you can then much more easily identify the follow-through required, and if any system's underperforming, where that underperformance lies, so that you can put your energy and attention in the right area.
So I hope you found this episode of the Growth Journey Show valuable. If you're a business leader looking to scale your business, make sure you subscribe to this show and check out our scalability score calculator at LexisClick.com/scalability score. Until next week.